Hello everyone, welcome to our new video series on MySQL using Python. Now that we have covered that how to insert rows in MySQL tables, so let's dive into selecting rows in that tables and printing it here. So let's begin with our code. First of all, we'll start by importing the MySQL connector library and we'll give an alias name con to it. Then for establishing the connection, we'll create an object. On that, we are going to use the connect method and with the help of some parameters. So we have to define the host. So our host is localhost. Then we have to define the user. So by default, our user will be root. Then we have to give the password. And then we have to define the database. So in the first video, we have created a database CL coding. So we are going to use that. Then you can print your object to check that if it is successfully executed or not. You can use a conditional statement also here. Now we'll create the cursor. So for creating the cursor, we will use the mycon. Now our cursor has been created. We create a cursor to execute our OR queries. Now we have to, for executing the query, we have to create a query object and we'll keep our query for the selecting rows. So the first query will be for selecting all the rows from our table. So for that, the query is that select asterisk from our table name and our table name is a staff. And then for printing it, we have to use the method execute. Now this when you'll execute this query, so it will return us several rows. Now for iterating over each row, we have to use the for loop because as we know that for loop is used to iterate over the sequences. For that, we are going to use the for loop and then let's print I. And before printing, we will print the total row count also. So using the cursor, we can print that. So let me first give a string that total record. And then using the cursor, there is an attribute called row count on the cursor, which gives us the count of rows that how many rows have been printed. And let's execute our cell. So now you can see all the values which we have inserted in the previous video, 1, 2, 3, 4, are now being shown here. Okay. Now, this was the first way. Now, there is one more way in which we can select specific rows on from our table. It means that suppose if you want to print only this second ID. So for that also there is a row, there is a query. First of all, you have to give select, then asterisk from table name star, and then you have to give the condition. So for giving the condition where is used, okay? So where, and then we'll specify where staff ID equals to. So this is our query. Then again we'll use the execute method, and in this execute method we'll write query, and then for I in our cursor print I, and then again we can print our total row count. So now, as you can see, when we wanted only a specific value, then we can apply this query, okay? Using the where, we can give a condition that only this value means only that value should get printed whose staff ID is 2. So we are getting a specific value for staff ID 2, and we are getting all the variables with staff name, staff job role, and then staff experience. Then there is one more query, or you can say one more way in which we can uh, print our values. So for that, the query will be the same. Only the way of displaying it will get changed with the use of the fetch all method. So let's see that also. So the query remains same that select asterisk from staff, staff that is a table name, and then We'll apply the execute method, then our query inside that, and then we'll create one more object, re. In that re, I'm going to give fetch all. Now, because I've applied the fetch all method, so now I can, so let me print the total record also. And now I'll iterate over the re. So for that, I'll do for row in our re, and then I'll print it in an inverted way. So I'm going to print the staff name and the job role of each person. Okay. For that, what I can do, I can print the staff name, and then I'll access row, and from that row I want to access because the staff one means the staff name is present at the first index. Okay, and indexing starts from zero. So first at first place means at the zero index there is a staff ID, and I want to print a staff name, so I'll write one here. Okay, then the next thing I want to print is the job role. So for that, I'll do row two. And then for giving a space, I'll give a blank print. Okay, and now when I'll execute the cell, so now you can see we are getting our first of all total records four, and then the staff name and the job role for the first person, then the staff name and job role for the second person, then the staff name and job role for Rahul, same the third person, and then for the Suraj Gupta. Okay, so in this way you can print it in inventive way also in Python, or if you want in simple way means just in tuple wise sequences, then you can use this column. So okay. And if you want to print a specific value, so you can use this where and give a specified condition that what value you want to print. Okay. And that's all. Then you have to close the cursor and the connection also. So now your connection has been closed. So this was how you can select tables, select rows from the tables uh, in MySQL. So I think you like this video. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you in the next video.